Here at Most Amazing Top 10, we love to branch out and try new things, but every now and again, you gotta go back to your roots and give the people what they originally subscribed for. Nobody does a top 10 urban legends list like us, and that is why today I'm bringing you the top 10 Scary Shanghai Urban Legends. I am, of course, your host, Shader Reyna, and this is, of course, Most Amazing Top 10, and you are, of course, the Most Amazing Top 10 family. I want you all at home to turn off the lights and light a spooky candle to set the mood, because this is going to come right at ya. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell, and stick around for the whole list because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts that you love so much. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. Coming in at number 10, we have the Vampire Granny. Well, I decided that we would start off this urban legends list by ruining one of the most wholesome things on the planet. How could you make a granny evil? What's the next point going to be? Garlic fart puppies? In terms of urban legends, this one is fairly new. It popped up in the mid-90s. Word started to spread fast about an evil old woman that would be walking around the streets looking for kids who were foolish enough to be walking around alone. She would take them to her secret lair, and then she would suck them dry of all their blood. Sounds like a pretty crummy way to go, but I don't have anything to worry about because I'm not a kid and I don't live in Shanghai. I guess if anyone watching this is a youngster, you better avoid all the old ladies you see. This old lady bloodsucker was apparently pretty selective because she would only go after kids who were wearing red. Maybe because it's the color of blood and this would attract her. Or maybe she wanted to steal the red clothes to keep as trophies. The reason why? We will never know. Coming in at number 9, we have the Pillar of the 9 Dragons. If you want to see one of the most famous monuments in Shanghai, then you will need to go in search of the Pillar of the 9 Dragons. It sits right underneath a massive overpass. Now, when this overpass was being constructed, there was something strange happening in the digging process. The construction workers couldn't get through the ground. They could dig small holes, but they couldn't seem to penetrate anything deep. So the construction workers did the logical thing and they called a geologist to figure out what they were digging into. I'm just kidding, dude. They absolutely did not call a geologist. This is an urban legends video. They actually got a priest to come in and find out if something magical was stopping them from digging any deeper. Turns out there was apparently a sleeping dragon that was underneath the earth, and if they wanted the dragon to move, they had to give it an offering, and that is why there are 9 dragons on the pillar. Dragons love to be worshipped. Also, is everyone fine with a random dragon just sleeping underground? Like, no one is bothered by this? Just me? And we have the Flowerbed. It only took us 3 points, but now we're already at some ghosts. You gotta have ghosts on an urban legend list. It's like an unwritten rule, like don't double dip your chip, or hot dogs are all made out of buttholes. So the Flowerbed has some pretty interesting stuff going on. To get the full story, you have to head back to the year 1644, when thousands of people were killed on that spot. It was a massive execution, and when you kill that many people on one spot, you're going to get a little bit of bad mojo flowing through the air. You can go visit this spot today, and many people who do claim that the spirits walk through this area in the hundreds. There's also a foul smell that can creep into your nose, the sounds of people weeping and gurgling, and also a cold chill that will crawl up your spine. How about you guys go check out the creepy ghosts and I go check out a really good restaurant? We'll meet at the Sleeping Dragon in an hour. Coming in at number 7, we have the JING'AN Cemetery. The ghosts keep coming and the ghosts keep coming, and that's as deep as I'm gonna go with that remix. So the JING'AN Cemetery was built in 1890 and was a hotspot for people to get buried. I don't know what I want done with my body, but I don't think I care if my body is thrown in the ocean or my ashes are shot into space. I don't really care what happens. I don't need to go to a fancy spot. Well, some people desperately wanted to be buried there. This was until the late 20th century when the bodies started to get removed so they could remodel the area into a public attraction. But here's the thing, there were so many bodies in the area that many people believe they didn't get them all out. So now there's just dead people floating around the area, and well, that's what happens in life, or death. Coming in at number 6, we have Plaza 66. It seems that there aren't only dragons underneath the earth in Shanghai, but there's also some gods. When Plaza 66 was being built, there was a ton of accidents, and instead of blaming this on poor construction policies, the people in charge of this came to the conclusion that there was a goddess living under the spot that they were trying to dig. So this is what they did. They changed the whole building to look like it was a monument to the goddess, and she loved this and stopped any further accidents from happening. Seems like a fair deal. Coming in at number 5, we have the Pacific Department Store. This building does have a Chinese name, but I don't want to butcher it and sound like a moron. But here's the story, and I'll tell you, it is horrifying. So the store was built on a cemetery. That's not crazy for an urban legends list, so let's up the ante a little bit. It was built on a child's cemetery. Oh my god, that sounds like the most horrific thing I have ever heard. So there was a nursery slash orphanage in this spot where the department store was built, and some of the kids don't always make it, so there was also a nursery slash orphanage graveyard. Honestly, I didn't know this video was gonna get this dark. Well, they had to bulldoze the orphanage and nursery to make the department store, which sounds like the bad ending to every 90s movie. But here's the thing, you can't bulldoze a ghost. So the spirits were just hanging out, and then the people who worked at the department store started to hear child ghosts screaming and laughing all the time. That can't be good for your mental health. So the department store plays the song Darling I'm Sorry, which is a Chinese lullaby. They play this over the loudspeakers, and this apparently calms all the ghosts. Coming in at number 4, we have the Paramount Theater Dancer Girl. Times have changed. The Paramount Theater used to be a place where escorts, gangs, and rich folk would gather, do debaucherous things, and live scandalous lives. Wait a second, times haven't changed at all. People are doing that right now, like every day. The story with the Paramount Dancer Girl goes like this. At the Paramount Theater, there was a ballroom, and this is where many of the gangsters and rich folk would dance with escorts so they could make deals and then take them off to hotel rooms. Just because it's sex work doesn't mean you can't keep it classy. Well, one girl was pulled onto the dance floor by a gang member, and she wanted nothing to do with him. She told him off, but then he forced her onto the dance floor, so she responded by slapping him right in the face. Well, he didn't like this one bit, so he shot her dead on the dance floor. It's said that this poor girl's ghost is still dancing throughout the theater. Coming in at number 3, we have the Kui Mansion. Ghostly pets protecting a mansion that sounds like my kind of bizarre urban legend. So apparently this building has been standing for quite some time, and the Chinese government decided that it was time to tear it down. The building was previously owned by a couple of avant-garde painters who loved exotic pets and probably had mustaches. Dudes who like weird paintings and have a bunch of strange pets for sure have mustaches. Well, one day these two dudes just vanished. They disappeared, and that has never been explained. Oh, this legend is starting to get good. Years later, when the teardown order was sent out, every worker who walked into the building ran out in terror and revealed that they had animal bites all over their body, but they hadn't been touched by any animal. There was also a worker who tried to kill his boss, and when he later calmed down, he said that the lizard was making him do it. Mind Control Lizard Ghost? That's the name of my next comedy album. Coming in at number 2, we have the CABOA Station. You ever want to get murdered by a ghost? Yeah, me neither. So you should avoid this place because apparently there's a rude ghost that will push you in front of a train. There have been 9, count them, 9 people who have died in this place with zero explanation as to how they died. That doesn't seem like a good time to me. I don't want to die for no reason. I want to have fun and not die. That's the Che Dorena motto. So apparently this is the ghost of an angry lady, and she won't only kill randos, she will also cause trains to break down, which is super rude. You're making the whole city late, ghost lady. Sometimes a train will break down in the station and everyone will hear a cackling woman's laughter. I'm never gonna ride the subway there, and that's a promise. Coming in at number 1, we have the baby black market. So people are buying and selling babies on the black market because it's faster than adoption. Try again, this one is way more messed up than that. Apparently Shanghai and the rest of China has a flourishing black market for selling dead babies for people to eat. What? Are you serious? Yeah, people want to eat babies. Why do they want to do this? Well, like a lot of black market digestibles, they believe that it contains some sort of superpower, like that it will make you live longer and be stronger. Dude, just eat kale. I promise you that kale is way better for you, and you don't have to be a horrible monster to consume it. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and as promised, I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets each day, so if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. If it takes me a while to get back to you, I am very sorry. I have a lot of these to do. To kick things off, we have Rizzo, who looks like a good shaggy boy. Then we got Max, who's got some big old floppy lips. After that, we have a horse named Wyatt. Next, we have a little kitten named Frosty, and to close it out, we have the bunny Biscuit with his little unicorn uniform. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been your host, Che Dorena, and I guess be careful if you're a baby. You don't want to have someone eat you. That's scary. Bye. So the JING'AN cemetery was built in that there was a goddess living goddess. Times have changed. The Paramount Theater used to Let's get into this list. Coming in at, or